fueled by Gatorade.
All right, it's just so funny when Kyle does the in-bumps. The 49ers are making moves over the last couple of weeks by signing a lot of guys that need to help this offense, especially in the depth department, like wide receiver Christian Kirk, which gives Brock Purdy another target to go to, along with the recently signed Mike Evans in from Tampa Bay. Kirk always very quarterback-friendly within these wide receiver rooms. The team also brought back a key piece of their Super Bowl defense from 2023 by re-signing linebacker Dre Greenlaw to a one-year deal worth $7.5 million. Why are you shaking your head?
How does that happen? How does he come back? Like, that's crazy to me, Jamie.
Of course, you'll remember Greenlaw suffered a torn Achilles in that Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs coming off the sideline. So keep this all in mind when you know that San Francisco has to compete in a very loaded NFC West division. Very competitive, considering you have the Super Bowl champion Seahawks emerging from it now, and the Rams are always hanging around. They bolstered their team in free agency as well. So we look at the 49ers. Manti, we want to avoid Kyle Shanahan screaming into a pillow once again in 2026. Have they done enough to keep pace in this division?
I think so. Now, let me give some context as to why I shook my head. When you put Dre Greenlaw back on the 49ers, like, that's like giving Thor back his hammer. Like, that guy, like, I don't know how that happens. Like, how does the NFL saying that the San Francisco 49ers now are going to have Mike Evans, who will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. You're going to have somebody like Christian Kirk, who a couple of years ago was the leading wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're adding Dre Greenlaw back. You're going to have a healthy Nick Bosa, a healthy Fred Warner, George Kittle, and Brock Purdy. Guys, when they went into that Week 18 game against the Seattle Seahawks, which they lost 13-3, their two wide receivers are Juwan Jennings and Demarcus Robinson. I love Juwan Jennings and Demarcus Robinson, but you're talking now that when they go against these guys, you're going to have Mike Evans and Christian Kirk and George Kittle. It just doesn't how does this team just all of a sudden elevate to these guys that are surrounding Brock Purdy? So to answer the question, I definitely think so, and the NFC West continues to be that division that continues to produce at a high level year in and year out, Willie.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Ty, for me, when I think about the 49ers, they're in win-now mode, and I definitely think they're back in the fight. We talk about going to get Mike Evans. You have Christian Kirk. You pair him with Ricky Pearsall. And now you have this offense that was deficient in the wide receiver room. Now they got some dogs. Now they got some guys that can go hunt the football in the air and make plays for Brock Purdy. And if you think about the two other teams, the Rams and the Seahawks, I think the Rams are probably #1, but the Seahawks, I think they've regressed, right? You talk about some of the losses, Kenneth Walker, Bio Mafe, Kobe Bryant, Reek Williams. All those guys are on that championship defense. All those guys were made men. They have left the building. And, by the way, you lose Clint Kubiak, your offensive coordinator. So now I'm looking at the Seahawks, and they've regressed and taken a step backwards. And now the Niners not only got receiver help, but they got Dre Greenlaw, and they got help in the interior of their defensive line. So if I'm the Niners, I'm saying to myself, man, we're right back in the hunt. We're right back in the fight. And you got Kyle Shanahan, you know, is a mastermind as a head coach for the Niners. So if I'm the 49ers right now, you have to believe that this thing, you have a chance to make a deep playoff run, and everybody in the division should watch out, KB.
I'm just so glad Dre Greenlaw is back. Was that one of the worst injuries of all time? One of the most impactful injuries of all time? Because just to remind you, it happens 12 plays into the Super Bowl. That is a Super Bowl that went to overtime, and it would have, I mean, you think maybe they win if Dre Greenlaw's in for the whole game because they were just that close. It's like that would have swung everything. The Chiefs lose. Kyle Shanahan gets a Super Bowl, but he's running off the field and his leg just collapses. Like that. You know what? If you're in the heart of battle and you get rolled up on, that's football. Just running off the field, like that's ridiculous. Anyway, I think there's a lot of attention on Mike Evans, and Mike Evans is going to hear this thing for the next few months, maybe into the season. You're hearing that W word from critics and haters and memers and all that. The washed. We used to do a segment on Good Morning Football called Not New Jersey, where we would take classic players who end up their career at different teams, and like the jersey looks really weird. That is a really strange-looking jersey on Mike Evans. I know it's still red, but it's a different red. It's a different number. I hope he powers through that. I will never doubt Mike Evans. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, Mike Evans is going to show up and have 30 catches next year. That's not the kind of guy Mike Evans is. I think he needs to be really productive, and I think it would be very cool if at the end of his career you're like, oh, yeah, Mike Evans had that Niners year at the end where he still balled out. I think he could do it, Manti.
When I look at that graph with the additions and the departures, KB, there's one name that's not on the departures that I think is going to have the biggest impact.
Wow.
And that's Robert Saleh. Having him as a departure is going to be huge. He doesn't wear a helmet, but he wears the mic. And we know that coming into this year with Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator, that San Francisco defense always had a chance. It didn't matter who was out there, what 11. There was a time that the 11 guys on defense, we didn't even know their names. But Robert Saleh continued to have that defense ready. So I know they're having all of these notable additions there. It's great to have Dre Greenlaw back. It's going to be great to have all of these guys healthy. But Robert Saleh going to Tennessee, guys, look out for that next year, because that's going to be probably the departure that's going to hurt him the most.
Yeah, there you go. We added him. He's busy. He's in Tennessee now. He's, got to deal with the top 5 draft pick and fulfilling Kyle Brandt's prophecy of the Titans making it to the postseason next year out of the AFC South. Perhaps the Titans will be our Hard Knocks team in August. Wouldn't we love to see that? Up next, we know that we all love the magic that is produced by our friends at NFL Films. Have you heard of the most recent project that they're working on? It's a new show with the PGA Tour called Chasing Sunday, which is actually focused around the Players' Championship. We have a sneak peek that we get to take a look at before we discuss further. To know that those golfers call it the game aggravating as well. Chasing Sunday premieres tonight, 9 Eastern on the PGA Tour YouTube channel and PGAtour.com. So here's the question. There must be something else that beyond the Players' Championship that we want to apply the Hard Knocks treatment to. You give it the whole thing, Manti. Behind the scenes cameras, the mic'd up, everything. What do you got?
If I wanted a behind the scenes camera mic'd up, I want to have one on the refs. Like I would love to really on the refs, mic them up. Like, have a camera on them and them alone. It'll be classic.
Yeah, I hear you, Manti. It's okay, but you got to follow me, dog. Okay. Don't leave me.
I never. What are you talking about? I got you.
And so, last year, man, I went on a Disney cruise with the kids. And I'm not a cruise guy.
Here we go.
I'm not a cruise guy. But I went on this Disney cruise. And I absolutely fell in love, right? Like, they had the 24-hour ice cream machine. Yeah. They had all these characters walking around. I'm looking at Goofy and Mickey. They had some of the 7 Dwarfs. Cinderella's walking around. My kid almost exploded into confetti.
Magical.
And I'm saying to myself, man, I want to know the man behind the smiles. I'm into it.
How do you like it, Willie, when they come like to your table and they work your table and they take pictures with the kids and stuff? Do you interact with them?
Oh man, I was in character with them. I was laughing for no reason. I was all in.
You got to do a lot of talking because they don't talk.
They don't talk. It's a lot of head nods
and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of high fives, a couple chest bumps.
Oh, dude, I try my hardest to like mess with the characters really bad. We were once at a character breakfast and Mickey comes by. And we say, oh, we're from New York. And then Mickey, this really talented Mickey, he starts doing like he's singing or something like that. And he's like, oh, Broadway? You like Broadway? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, Mickey, I bet you don't like cats, though, right? His mouse. And he's just like, oh. He was like, he gave me my props and he nailed over. Like, that's like my finest moment.
Think about your whole day is escapades.
I know.
That's your whole day.
All day.
Yeah.
So you know how you did the magic that Disney...
Yes.
Oh, Jamie, I booked a Disney cruise once. When you book the cruise, you get an email, like a reservation email, and the subject of the email is bippity boppity booked. And I'm like, God, you Disney people got us. You got us right here. Just take all my money.
I was committed as soon as I got on the boat.
Bippity boppity booked. I'll send it just for that email.
But Willie,
I saw Captain Hook and I almost cried.
Yes.
What I'm also hearing from you is I think you also want to see the behind the scenes of like Mickey taking off the Mickey head, and he's just like, that was tough out there. Like you want to see the grit and the determination for the performance.
And Jamie, think about some of these characters that they're tall, like they have these big outfits.
Yeah,
and why would you take off the helmet and it's like a 5'5" guy? He was just like, man, I'd be carrying that thing all day. You know what I mean? Like I would be in there, I would blow my mind. So
he's got a black and tan.
Yeah, he's got a big beard, no hair, he's got an eye, he's got tattoos on his face. I'm like, oh yeah.
I get it, dude. I get it. I would love to. I don't know which is least likely. Back behind the scenes of Disney characters or referees getting mic'd up and filmed. I don't know which is least likely because neither one of those is ever happening, guys. We were in the secrets to the kingdom. Mine is I'm pulling from the headlines. I need those cameras. And by the way, shout out to the PGA Tour. Our former offensive coordinator, if you will, Brian Rolap, who now runs it and is like taking the Hard Knocks experience to the PGA Tour, which is very smart, and making it accessible, relatable. And they're not like Happy Gilmore and up the thing where it's all classless. It's just access and more personality for the golfers. I think that's really, really cool. This morning, I want cameras rolling on all of the people around the country, myself included, who are what they call Dune Bros. because the trailer for Dune 3 is dropping this morning online, and everybody is losing their absolute mind. If you follow the Dune movies,